Good morning. Welcome to Sacred Enzyme. Happy Saturday. I hope you're doing well today. So today I want to read I made it into a little story. I want to talk about the cryptids because we have a lot of cryptids that we call cryptids that are here, and a lot of people are trying to figure out why they're here, where they come from. So I want to put forth my hypothesis of what I've ascertained from my travels in between realms and my studies that I've done about these different groups. So long ago, many ancient traditions speak of a distant age, often remembered as the garden phase, where we're talking about right here. It was a time of harmony, fluidity, and connection, and in this age, Earth felt lighter. Beings of many kinds moved freely across the land. The world was not divided the way it is now. There was openness, memory, and a deep sense of belonging. But like everything in the cosmos, this garden phase existed inside a cycle. And when the cycle turned, the harmony broke. So across cultures, we hear of a fall or a great forgetting, a shift where Earth became heavier, denser, and more structured, and human consciousness contracted in a crystalline form. This collapse wasn't a single moment. It was a gradual descent into a world where memory faded. Remember, we started here and we clicked all the way around. We went from fluidity and locked into a cocoon, literally like the butterfly. This is all the monarch symbolism. It's not about the pelvis and all this. It's how we morph from being fluid into being constrained. And then we have to burst out of it and go from the 12 to the 13. Guys, this is the monarch symbolism. This collapse wasn't a single moment. It was a gradual descent into a world where memory faded, intuition quieted, and a survival replaced the connection. We went into survival mode. We got a parasite on the planet, and everybody became entangled. Humanity forgot who they were, but not everybody forgot. So we come into this part where we have these beings called the Watchers. So let's break down who these were. There were ancient guardian lineages. There were beings who understood the cycle of Earth long before humans did. They saw the collapse coming. They knew humanity would enter a long night of forgetting, and they made a choice. They decided to stay here with us, guys. Not as rulers, not as saviors, but as watchers. Beings who would stay close to the thresholds of this world, so humanity would never be completely alone. While we wandered through the forgetting, they knew that this cycle would return again someday. They knew an age of remembering would eventually rise, and when it did, their presence would matter, guys. Wonder why people are starting to see so many of these cryptids? They're not all bad, guys. Some are caught in distortion. Okay, so let's explore who are the Watchers. Let's explore these guardians, because there's a lot of different ones, where they come from and how the collapse changed them, and how traces of their ancient memory still move through the world today. So we have the first and foremost, the Seraphim. The Seraphims were the beings of light and fire. They represented luminous beings tied to the idea of the central sun. Remember, the sun is number one in our numbering of all of the places. The sun is 1, the moon is 2. 3 is Mercury, 4 is Mars, 5 is Venus, and so on and so on. Okay, a realm of radiance, fire, sound, and creation. Before the collapse, they were fluid light, guys. When Earth densified, their forms hardened into shapes that are preserved throughout mythology. There are dragons, there are fiery angels, there are winged serpents. They're the beings that are tied to the storms. Lightning, volcanic fire. This is your modern day Draco reptilian groups. This is what they hardened into. They went from being majestic seraphim to being locked in crystalline casing in this time, right? And we've gotten ourselves into a parasitic loop with these groups, okay? Their connection to Venus shows up in the harmonics of beauty, clarity, and coherence, a memory of the higher geometry they once carried. Okay, so now let's talk about the lupine guardians. These are your wolf beings. This is the bloodline that I come from. The lupine guardians are the protectors of the threshold. These guardians are linked to Lyra and Venus, guys. A lineage of upright, intelligent, wolf-like beings who served as protectors and guides. When the collapse occurred, their fluid bodies compressed, their forms shifted. Some became wolves, some became human, and some became something in between wolf and human. And there are people that I've been talking to lately that have the same memories that I do, that they're in these thresholds and they contain this wolf coding. Some people are able to remember them taking their form in astral, their true form. Some don't. Okay, this mirrors global legends of our dogmen and shadow wolves who protect territories, children, and boundaries. If you are highly compelled to protect children in this timeline, and you suspect that you have this wolf coding, you probably do, because we come from Venus, and our main objective here on this planet right now is to protect kids at all cost. Okay? Their Venus coding shows in pentagonal patterns, feathers, kind of like your Sasquatch structures. You'll see a lot of the same symbolism, blue accents, symmetrical structures, and geometric arrangements. They still build with memory, guys. They're in the forest. They're protecting children. A lot of kids that have these dogmen sighting, they'll talk about how they were friends or companions because kids don't have the distortions that adults do, right? Okay, so let's talk about the Sasquatch. They're the memory keepers of Earth, guys. In this framework, Sasquatch are the ancient guardians blending. They carry Arcturian wisdom and Earth native ancestry. Before the collapse, they were tall, fluid, telepathic beings who tended the natural world and its memory, guys. These were planetary guardians, the guardians of the forest, the guardians of the woods. These are your modern day, what we come to know as these forest giants, these wild men, these mountain watchers, Sasquatch, Yeti. Their structures that they build, they also echo Venusian geometry, guys, as if they remember a harmony humanity has forgotten, guys. I have a couple people that are on my channel that I subscribe to them as well. Cosmic Wildman is one of them. But he videotapes Sasquatch structures that are on the beach out west. And there's a common thread that's pretty much in every one of them. There's like a feather, there's something blue, there's things arranged that's in geometry of the style of symbolizing the 5 points of the star of Venus. They'll have things grouped in series of 5s. And then they also use a lot of geometry. So they're almost like ET phone home centers. They're almost like phone booths sitting on the beach. They're still communicating with home, guys. They're keeping their finger on the pulse. They're trying to keep up with what's going on, what the primordial directive is here from Mother. I'm telling you, she's come back and she's doing it herself. This is why so many people have incarnated during this time that are remembering their coding. You're remembering your coding. Your earth beings, you're here as a guardian to the earth, as a guardian to the children, as protectors of the earth and protectors of the children, and the protectors of the primordial original garden template protocol that's being implemented right now on this planet. This has been a long time coming. So we've got the watchers, the guardians of emotion and flow. So we had water guardians that were linked to Sirius B and the continent of Mu. Before the collapse, they were fluid, shimmering light beings, guys. As the earth got harder and harder into this crystalline structure, their forms hardened into shapes. And now we've come to know them as like mermaids, selkies, water spirits, ocean guardians, sirens, mermaids, mermans. Their Venus coding lives through the emotional, intuitive currents of water. And this all has to do with the flowing memory of the heart. All the animals that are in the ocean, the elder animals, the whales, the dolphins, they're all echoing these frequencies in the water. This is why it's so important that we're taking care of the water. I'm working with a lot of water at other timelines. We're building huge water filtration systems. And I don't know if if the objective is to clean the water beforehand, or if we're doing disaster preparedness water cleaning, water purification. But the water is being retuned in other timelines. So we've got the Hyperborean Watchers. These are your Northern Light Guardians. The Hyperboreans are in all of the polar stories that they talk about. They're luminous beings connected to the North Star, the Arcturian symbolism, the aurora. And when the collapse happened, their forms are associated with the Pale Giants, the Ice Spirits, and the Northern Watchers, guys. This is where I go in my astral. This is where all of our meetings are. It's up in the North Pole. Their Venus coding is clarity, symmetry, stillness, the calm of winter light. So why are we seeing all of these beings now? Well, because our cycle is rising, guys. Something happened, not last night, but the night before last. There was something really major that happened. Really major. A huge shift. Humanity is entering a phase of remembering, guys. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. All the stories are starting to come back up into the field. You know, when you grab onto a thread in your astral and you focus on it, this is why dream journaling is so important. As soon as you get up, you start taking notes, or you put a note into your phone. Record your memories from the night before, because they will fade quickly. They will fade quickly. You have to capture them. And it's very important that you start chronologically writing down them, dating them. When did I have this astral experience? What happened? And be very thorough, because something may not make sense to you now, because you get spoon-fed breadcrumbs. You got to do the work, guys. You got to do the work. You got to work your brain. You got to wake up. The veil is thinning. The Watchers are stepping closer, not to frighten us and not to interfere. You have to remember that we've been captured in a false hologram, okay? We're living in a vampiric system right now. We have to get out of this 12 by 12 vampiric system. We have to go into the 13th. We have to evolve past the 12 into the 13th archetype. This is a blending of all the archetypes to be able to move the wheel, out of a 12 by 12 locked in structure that we are trapped in. It's basically like we're trapped in a box, guys. We can't be trapped in a box. We have to get out of the box. We have to be on a wheel that is moving, not around and around, but is moving like a spiral, guys, like a spiral. This takes motivation from the heart. It has to all work from the heart. This is why it's so important that we get it right this time around. We have to get it right this time around. We have to include Venus, or 5, which is the number of the planet Venus. We have to bring the equation of 5 into everything. The planet Earth is number 8. If you add 5 to 8, you get 13. This is why Venus is our twin, guys. Venus is our twin because the number 5 added to Earth equals the heart space, 13. So with that, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Does it make sense about these cryptids? Does it make sense that why they're caught up here is that they were here for guardians? This is why you hear the term the wolves of God. This is why dog spelled backwards equals God. It's not a coincidence that we have dogs as man's best friend. There are protectors, there are guardians. Every child should have a dog. Every child should have a dog. Because these animals are protectors of man. Just like the werewolves and the dog men that are being seen, people are seeing them. That's a twofold thing. You probably carry coding. This is why you were able to see the wolf or the dog man to start with. You carry the coding for that line. You come from the lupine protectors, guys. Go back and look at your genealogy. You'll see. If you're obsessed with hunting down cryptids, or you're obsessed about finding out more, it's probably because you carry the coding, guys. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. And for those who are out in the forest and you're a cryptid hunter, or you're always looking for clues, be useful. Carry heirloom seeds in your pocket. and sow them along the way. Say a prayer and put them in the ground. They don't have to grow. You're sowing the original recipe for the original Garden of Eden. And when you put original heirloom seeds, and mainly the three sisters, corn, squash, beans, heirlooms, non-genetically modified, you are helping the planet remember its original recipe, the original recipe. So we can transition back into that time with more grace and fluidity instead of having the whole earth shaken up. Because like I said, it's going to take a cataclysm to break up a crystalline structure, guys. We have everything tied up in ice, and the memories in water, the traumas in water. It has to break free. And the structure that we're in is crystalline. And, you know, so we're going to have to work in taking the planet back, guys. And it involves us getting busy. We can't sit on our butts. We have to get motivated. We have to unplug from the matrix. And we've got to start now. So with that, I would love to hear what you have to say. When you come and find me, I'll be here, because we're living in the past, present, and the future all at the same time. It's time to get busy, guys. It's time. We have to start being proactive if we're going to move through this shift and take the planet and restore it back. Because, you know, we're in between. We're in betweens. And so we've got to walk these realms. We've got to restore the planet. And we've got to help the primordial mother bring the template back. This is what we were born for. We agreed to come here during this time, guys. We agreed. We agreed. So please like the videos and subscribe. 75% of the people that are watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel, guys. How is anyone going to find out about the information if we don't share it? It doesn't hurt for you to subscribe to the channel. This is a for non-profit channel. No money is entangled with this information, guys. Do you hear that? There is not quantum entanglement on this channel. So I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel and share the information. And with that, thank you for watching Sacred Enzyme, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.